My name is Jenny Harden. I am conducting this interview on behalf of Unity Hospice. Today we are interviewing Robert Coleman. The date is November 17th, 2015, and this interview is being conducted in Yorkville, Illinois. The purpose of this interview is to record the veteran experience of Robert Coleman for the Veterans History Project. Please tell me your full name.
Robert Joseph Coleman.
And your date of birth.
October 31st, 1924.
And what did you say your mom calls, or you called your mom for your birthday?
Spook.
Spook. And what branch of service did you serve
I was in the Army.
And what was the highest rank that you attained?
I attained a PFC,
Okay. And what war were you involved in?
World War II.
What years did you serve in the
I
military?
was drafted in 1943
Okay.
after I got out of high school.
And how long did you serve?
I served until 1946, December 19... excuse me. I was discharged in 45, 46.
Okay. All right. And where were you born?
In Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. And what are the names of your parents?
Claire John and Mildred J.
And what did they do for work?
My dad was a traveling salesman.
Oh, okay. What did he sell?
Coal.
Okay.
He sold strip mine coal
All right.
to factories and industry.
Sure. And what'd your mom do?
My mom was really, when we were young kids, she was a mother, a home mother.
Yeah.
But as we got it, as my brothers and I went into service, she became a county clerk for a laundry.
Okay. All right. Did you have any brothers or sisters?
I had two brothers.
Okay. Older or younger?
My oldest one was my brother John, he was 11 years and 2 months older, 2 weeks older than I was.
Okay.
No, 11 months and 2 weeks older
Okay.
than I was. And my younger brother was 11 years younger than I was.
Oh, okay. That's a big gap. Did either of them ever join the military?
Pardon?
Did either of them ever join the military?
Yes, they both did.
They both did.
John, he joined in 1941 and went to the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay.
And Jim was in the Air Force
Okay.
ground crews out in Formosa.
Okay. Was your dad ever in the military?
Yes, he was in World War I,
He was.
1917.
Oh, that's amazing.
He
That's
was a
amazing.
chauffeur, he said.
Yeah. And are you married?
Oh, yes, I was.
You were. What's your wife's name?
My wife's name's Edie.
Edie. Okay. And did you and Edie have children?
We had three.
3. What are their names?
Cindy and Debbie and Bruce.
Okay. Any of them in the military?
No.
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 Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit about what you were doing before you joined the service.
Well, I just got out of high school.
Okay.
And I went to work for a month in a factory, just making some money to have fun, I guess. And they drafted me.
Oh, you were drafted.
I was drafted in July of 43.
Okay. All right. And what branch of service?
The Army?
The Army. Okay. And so when you found out you were being drafted, how did you feel about that?
I was young. It didn't make much difference, I guess.
Okay. So you weren't upset. You were just
No.
kind of whatever.
My mother was more upset than I was.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I bet. Did your friends get drafted as well?
Yeah, I had two good friends of mine that got drafted. One went to the Navy, one went to the Air Force.
Yeah. Okay. So when you were drafted, did you get to choose the Army, or did you?
Yes, you have a choice when you're going through your physical. If your color test you take for colors.
Yeah.
If you can't pass it, you're in the Army. If you can pass it, you can go to the Navy.
Oh, I did not know that.
There was 3 guys that went in at the same time, all friends of mine,
Yeah.
and one of them, they were twins, and one of them couldn't pass the Navy test to see the colors, and so we all went in the Army together.
Oh, okay.
And the twins stayed with me for all the time I was in the service.
Really?
The same outfit.
Oh, that was probably nice, huh?
Yeah.
Having the familiar face there. That's very nice. So you were in the Army. Tell me a little bit about basic training. Where did you do your basic training?
I did my basic training Camp Blanding, Florida. We marched out in the sand. It was a tough marching too.
Yeah.
We trained down there, did our basic down there.
Okay. All right. And that's where you trained on weapons and stuff as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was your favorite part of basic training?
Well, Camp Blanding was in Stark, Florida, so the best part of it was the swimming.
Okay.
We had a nice big lake right next to us.
Yeah.
It's like next to Stark,
Yeah.
Florida.
So is that kind of what you did on your off time?
Yeah.
You guys went swimming?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Did your friends, the twins, they went down there as well?
Yes.
You guys were
Yeah.
training? That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So did you get any specialized training while you were?
Not in Camp Landing. We were
Okay.
transferred to Camp Rucker, Alabama. We trained in ordnance.
Okay. And that would be your job training, correct? So what was your title? What was your
Stock record clerk.
Okay.
And we also worked in the motor pool, as detached in the motor pool, because we had, as an ordnance company, you move your equipment all at once, and everybody has to drive, so
Okay.
we all had to drive.
Okay.
And they kept me in the motor pool part-time, and part-time I was stock record clerk.
Which did you like better?
Motor pool.
Yeah. What was your favorite vehicle to drive?
I had the occasion one time when we were in Fontainebleau, France, to go back to Paris to pick up a tank. That was the biggest thing I ever did.
So you got to drive the
I
tank?
drove the tank all the way back
Nice.
to Fontainebleau.
Nice.
It was awesome, really.
So you said you were in Alabama for your training, your job training? So what did you do on your off time there?
I can't tell you.
Is it that bad? I believe it. Do you want to share or no? We'll just say you just had a good time.
Just had a good time.
Okay. Do you recall any of your instructors that you had, either at basic training or job training?
Yes,
Any of
I
your-
can.
Yeah. Who had an impact on you?
Father Clark, Paul Clark.
Okay.
He was my sergeant, really. And we lived in huts, we called them. They were wooden, half wooden up in tents on top.
Oh, okay.
And there was 8 of us in the tent
Okay.
squad. And he was my squad leader. So.
Oh, okay. So you all shared the hut.
And the twins were there too,
In the same hut as you?
in the same hut.
That's wonderful.
Well, my name was Coleman, theirs was Dewey, so we followed.
Oh, alphabetical. Sure. Well, that worked out good for your advantage. So these huts that you slept on, were you sleeping on cots? Did you
Yes.
have bunk beds? What did you have?
We had cots.
Cots. Okay, so you weren't sleeping on the floor. That's good. That's good. How was it adapting to military life, going from being a civilian now to?
Well, as a young kid, that was something different. I mean, really, you kind of had fun.
Yeah.
It was tough,
Yeah.
but it was.
Had you ever shot a weapon or anything before
Yeah,
then? You
yeah.
had. Okay. What about the food? Going from civilian eating whatever you want to.
Basically just food.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah.
We thrived on it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
I gained weight and got fat.
Yeah. But you were probably in shape because you were running and stuff,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the best weight I ever was in my life.
Right. Right.
Best physical condition I ever was in my life. Too.
Right. So it sounds like you enjoyed your training.
Yeah, I did.
So where did you go from Alabama? Where was your next?
We went to Camp Miles Standish in Boston,
Okay.
where we were shipped to England.
Okay. So that's where you were World War II, correct? And then where were you stationed then after that?
Well, we went from when we landed at Wales, Cardiff, Wales. We went to Stafford in the center of England and stayed there for 6 months till the invasion went on
Okay.
in July
Okay.
of '44.
Tell me about that.
Well, I wasn't in the invasion basically. At the first, I went in 2 weeks after the invasion. An ordnance company follows the maintenance company's in, and that's where we worked. And then we were taken up on Normandy, up on the plateau,
Okay.
and that's where I first met my general.
Okay. What did you think of your general?
It was General Patton.
Oh,
I liked him
you met General Patton.
once.
That's pretty cool. And you like
I heard him talk a couple of times, but I met him once.
Yeah.
When we were in England, before the invasion, we were taken down to Southampton and heard him speak. And of course, he's not a very nice speaker. He's a little vulgar.
Okay.
But I liked him. I mean, I thought he was a man for the
So
job.
what did you say to him? What did he say to you?
Just hello.
Just hello and
A salute, you know.
yeah. That's pretty neat. Not a lot of people
But he had
can
his
say that.
droppers on, the twin revolvers.
Yeah.
He was definitely George.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
But then after that, while I was doing that, I was on detached service to a maintenance company, and we were making a tank. They would bust these rose bushes, these big things,
Mm-hmm.
because the Germans were picking us off as we came through the entrances. So
Oh, sure.
they maintained these big plows, like a V plow we used in the snow plow.
Right.
And we would plow right through these bunkers, and we were catching them off guard. So
Right.
then from after that, we just moved all the way through phase.
Right.
I was
So where was your base at? Where were you in Wales? Is that what you said?
in Cardiff, England.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, excuse me, in Stafford, England.
Stafford. Okay. All right. All right.
We were
So
there
what?
We were there for 6 months. That was nice living.
That
Because
was.
I was built in with a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Farr, and we just loved them.
So you lived at their house?
I lived in a house.
That's pretty.
That's the way the whole company was
Yeah.
built it out in the houses all through Stafford.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
We call
that's
it-
nice.
Walton on the Rise. That was the name of the street. I'll never forget it.
Oh. So did you get like home cooked meals and they
no.
took care of you?
No, we got our meals at the company, but
Oh, okay.
we got to sleep there at night, and we'd have promise and tea with them in the afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
It was fun.
Did that kind of give you a sense of family? Like
Yeah.
you were away from your family, but you had a sense of family?
Yeah, Mr. Farr was an electrical engineer for a company there in England, and he was a genius.
Yeah.
He developed all kinds of electrical and mechanical things at that
Yeah.
time. We got to know him pretty well.
How long did you live with them?
6 months.
6 months. Okay. And were the twins with you?
One of them was. Yeah, I got the oldest one.
Yeah.
That's what we always call it. That's what Maurice called himself. He was the oldest one.
That's neat. So when you World War II, what kind of combat action maybe did you witness? Were you right on the front lines?
No.
Were you okay?
We are just 20 miles or so to the rear.
Okay.
Rear echelon.
Okay.
We just furnished parts to the troops.
Okay.
Mostly the Armored Division. The tank I was in, the van, we had vans that would pull behind big trucks, just like
Yeah.
a semi-truck. And in there we carried parts for certain vehicles.
Right.
Mine was a small tank. It was a personnel tank mostly,
Right.
and that's what I did. That's where I did my stock record work.
Right. So did you witness any kind of combat, any kind of fighting? Did you have to?
Strafed at one time is all.
Yeah.
Coming out of Normandy, we got strafed one time.
Okay.
We lost one man, and he was just injured, and he was sent back to England. We never ever saw him again.
Okay. All right. Okay. So did you witness any kind of casualties, any kind of destruction? Maybe 20 miles behind going through, did you witness?
Once in a while.
Yeah. What was that like for you?
Well, you see dead animals a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Cows and horses and things like
Yeah.
that killed.
Yeah.
I never saw any people.
Yeah. What about destruction? Did you see buildings
Oh,
toppled?
lots of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Nuremberg,
Yeah.
places like that was pretty well destroyed. We were in Nuremberg for a while, and so I saw lots of destruction there.
Yeah.
And a lot of buildings were shot down, farmhouses blown up, things like
Yeah.
that.
Is that kind of surreal for you at the
Yeah, it
time?
was,
Kind of looking at it like,
We always ran into that stuff after they were been there, of
Sure.
course, And we'd see a lot of that. It was, I don't know, surreal is a good word for it. I guess it is.
yeah. Oh. So you had the twins with you. Did you build any other kind of friendships with people?
Oh yeah, lots of them.
Yeah. Do you keep in touch with any of them to this day?
I did.
Yeah.
Paul Clark, I saw until he passed on here about 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
He
What
was
about
co-
the twins?
Well, they lived in Yellowville, Illinois, which is 10 miles from where I lived in Kewanee, Illinois.
Right.
And I haven't never had any contact with them since we got out of service.
Really?
Really. I've tried on the internet to pick them up, and I couldn't pick them up.
Can't find them. Oh.
I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah.
They were both going to go to Harvard. And,
After the military?
after the military. And I went on to college, and I never heard from them at
Right.
all.
Right. So I want to know more about your wartime. Share with me some stories. What are some memories? Good, bad? What are some times? A lot of us haven't lived through that. So take me through that.
Well, I think the one that stands out in my mind the most was just after the war was over, we were down in Austria. We're not doing anything, and so they opened up the prison camp. First day after they opened it up
And where were you at?
in Austria,
Oh, okay.
and the Americans had opened it up, and at let the people out. They didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we were invited to go to visit the camp. Our whole company was, and a lot of us went. And I think it's one of the worst things I ever saw in my life. There were people still wandering around, just walking around, didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And they talked about these things that I hear people say it couldn't have happened, but it did. People stacked like cords of wood, and they were.
Yeah.
And I did see that, and that was very, one of the worst memories I think I've ever had of the service.
Yeah.
Every time I talk about the service to somebody, that always comes up to me.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. It's an important memory. I mean, it's part of your story. So, yeah.
It was the Buchenwald camp,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but it was a sight that you just you can't forget.
Right. Right.
But, other than that, we toured a lot after the war was over. Went to Eagle's Nest and saw that, and that was awesome. Really.
Yeah.
How that guy lived up there.
Tell me about that.
Well, it's a mountain, and you can go up by elevator. You go up a certain part of it by car or truck or whatever. You go by
Right.
truck, and you get unloaded, go up by elevator, and you get up there on top, and you just house perched right on top of the mountain. And it was a beautiful view. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy.
That was a sight to see too, huh?
Yeah, well, it was really a great sight.
What other countries did you see, or did you visit?
France and England and Germany and Austria, of course.
Okay.
But
Where was your favorite?
truthfully, I like German people.
Yeah.
This is strange, but I didn't have a thing for the French people.
Yeah.
I just had bad feelings about them.
Right. No.
I don't want to tell you what I think about them, but
You can tell me.
well, you want to take this out?
No, I can't take it out because I can't edit it. So you can tell me after we're done taping. How about that?
Okay.
If you don't want to have it recorded, you
No,
can.
they're all right. Just to me, they were always taking advantage of you.
Oh, okay.
The French people were. Germans weren't that way. The people.
Right.
I'm not talking about the servicemen. I'm talking about the people.
Right. Right.
They were nice to get along with.
Yeah. So how long were you in Germany then?
About a year.
Oh, okay. And where in Germany?
Well, we were stationed in Nuremberg for a while, and we traveled through from different points. Before we crossed the Patton River, we lived in cute little German town, French town, on the Patton River. Patton.
Okay.
And it had a square. And a funny thing happened in about 1976 when my wife went back, and I went back to see my son who was in the service. We went and traveled through that town. It was just exactly a square, exactly the same as it was.
Really?
30 years before that.
That many years later?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Matter of fact, they always had a big Army tank of water in the square.
Yeah.
On the trailer. That damn tank was still there.
That's amazing. That brought back
I
some
think it was a
memories.
different
huh?
tank, but the tank was still there. I thought it was the funniest thing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What else did you experience?
Oh, let's see. What do I want to tell you? I'm just thinking of something I don't want to tell you now.
You can tell me. It's okay.
Well,
That's what we want. We want your story.
Have you heard the story about Patton urinating in the Rhine?
No.
Yeah, I have a picture of it.
Oh, of him urinating where?
In the Rhine River.
Do you have it handy?
No.
You want? Okay.
I destroyed it.
Did you take it or did somebody else?
Somebody else took it. It was a copy.
Oh my gosh.
But he's on one of these there are boats that have a road on them and they drive trucks across.
Okay.
He's out in the middle of it, urinating in the Rhine River.
Nice. He was a nice man, though.
Oh yeah. Hey, he was a general. I
mean,
we would have won the war a lot faster if he hadn't stopped us at Patton.
Yeah.
That's when we ran out of gas. That's a series of time when Monty up there in northern France got all the gasoline.
Right.
And General Eisenhower let him have it. Took it away from Patton's troops and his tanks and his armor.
I didn't know that.
And then, yeah, they stopped us for about 6 weeks. We couldn't move. We sat there at the Patton
Oh my gosh.
and just waited for it. He would drive General Eisenhower nuts, you know.
Right.
And I've read a lot of books about Eisenhower and Patton.
Yeah.
They were generals and generals, but I mean, Patton was a very aggressive person.
Yeah.
And Eisenhower wanted to win the war, but he
Right.
didn't want to do anything that would cause. But Patton had, I mean, Eisenhower had a problem with Monty.
Right.
Monty was English and Marshall in the First Army of England, I guess.
Okay.
And they were through Belgium area and up in that area.
Yeah.
And he got the permission to get the gas to move.
Yeah.
But he didn't move very far. So he gave it back to Patton and he took off again and he went all the way to Berlin.
Right. Right. So what's your best memory of being in the military?
They asked me that the other day on Veterans Day. And I told them, I think we could get my discharge.
Which? That's okay. You're not the first one to say that. That's okay. That's your answer. That's good. That's good. So what's the worst memory?
Buchenwald,
Yeah, Buchenwald.
the war camp,
Yeah.
how they treated people. And the people, strangely, around this town didn't even know that was going on. They had no idea that was going on out there.
Really?
The German people, Austrians,
Right.
they didn't know what was going on. But the camp was just,
That
like I said, it stands out in my mind.
Yeah, yeah. So, when your time was up, and let me get back. Where were you when the war ended?
I was in Austria, that's where we
Okay.
ended, the war ended. Yeah.
Okay, right, and you were there when it ended.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I was thankful. you
Yeah.
know. I was glad it was over. I don't like war.
Right.
You know, I just don't think war is, I just have a hard time understanding why we have them.
Right.
Why we have people who want to create things like that. It just doesn't make good sense to
Right.
me.
Did you feel that way back then too, or were you too young to know?
Too young to concern.
know what was going on? Yeah, yeah. So when the war ended and it was time to come home.
Well, I had to wait 6 months.
Oh, okay.
We were taken home by points, and my points were 69 points, and so we had to wait 6
And what does
months.
points mean? Explain that.
There's so many, how many years you've been in service,
Oh, okay.
the awards you got, and our company received 69 points for each
Okay.
person. And we were not high on the list, so we were in combat, you know, that made a difference too.
Right.
So we had to wait for 6 months before we went home. So,
That was probably a long 6 months, wasn't it?
well, no, because I went back to England. I went to school.
Oh.
I went to a place in Oxford, England, and we took with the GI training. And the town was Shrivenham, Missouri, Shrivenham, England. And I took a psychology course and an English course as a prerequisite to my college.
Right. Oh, that's good. So you used the 6 months wisely.
Yeah. And when I came back, the company was still there, and so we waited another, I don't know, it was only a few weeks.
And you went back to Alabama?
No, we're shipped back to home, right back to Illinois.
Oh, right back to Illinois.
Camp Grant, up here
Okay. Okay.
in Chicago.
Yeah. And did you get a big welcome home party? Did you get, tell me about when you came back home.
Well, my dad's friend, the twins, met us and brought us back to Kewanee, where my
Okay.
family was. And the boys, they went and left and went home, and I never saw them again, like I say.
Wow.
Oh, I did too. I take that back. We would go out at night sometimes and
Okay.
do a little honky tonkin'.
Honky tonkin'. Did you dance? Did you used to dance? Yeah. So how did you readjust after you had been...
I went to college.
What did you go to college for?
I went to become an osteopath.
What is that?
That's a doctor who deals with the spine.
Oh, okay.
He corrects the misalignments in the spinal column.
Oh, okay.
But I took my 4 years of course, and the credits I got for in England, and I also took some hurry-up courses I could take. You passed English and different things, and you got more credit.
Right.
They offered to the GIs.
Okay.
And so I got out of college in about 2 years. It was a 2-year, it was a prerequisite to my professional college.
Sure.
I became a chiropractor.
Oh, okay.
So I went to chiropractic college over in Davenport, Iowa, where I met my wife before we went there. I met her in my first 2 years out at Missouri State Teachers College.
Oh, okay.
And we got married in 1947.
And how long were you married?
67 3/4 years.
Good for you.
She just passed away last May and
Oh,
22nd.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we just got in this apartment, and we're here a month, and she passed on.
Yeah.
Very sorry.
Oh.
She was a sweetheart.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. So are you a member of any veteran organizations now?
Yeah, VFW and Legion.
Oh, both of them. All right. Are you active? Do you get to go to meetings? Do you get to...
Legion more than anything else.
Yeah.
Not too much in the VFW. I was, but our VFW is not too active here.
Okay.
At one time, I was quartermaster of
Oh,
the VFW.
yeah.
It's back in the 50s.
Yeah.
So I never went any further than that.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's good. That's good. And what have you done since separating from the military? So you became a chiropractor, right?
Yes.
You had some kids.
Pardon?
Became a chiropractor and you had some kids.
Oh, yeah.
Raised some kids.
I
Yeah.
practiced here in Yorkville and moved up to Yorkville to take care of my grandfather.
Oh, okay.
He was in his upper years, and
Was your grandfather in the military?
no,
No.
no.
Okay.
He was an immigrant who came over from Germany.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why you like German people.
That could be.
It's in your blood, right?
Could be.
So what other stories do you have from being in the war and being overseas and traveling and meeting people?
Well, my wife and I traveled an awful lot. We were
Yeah.
fortunate. I had a wonderful business. I was very successful in my
Did you
business.
own your own chiropractic business?
I
Is that
did.
what you did?
I
Okay. Okay.
I did. I built my own building out here on Route 34.
Oh, is it still there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just recently sold it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And, I built custom built for myself, and it
Sure.
was over 2,000 square feet.
Wow.
I had an associate, and later my son joined me,
Oh, okay.
and but I practiced 54 years.
Wow.
And,
Wow. Good for you.
and I loved every minute of it.
Were you able to use anything that you learned from being in the military to being a businessman, to dealing with people?
Not too much.
No, not too much.
I think I learned everything in college and
Yeah.
seminars and different things.
Right.
I was fortunate enough. I became a president of the state association at one time.
Wow.
That was an interesting thing to do.
Yeah. That's amazing.
But,
Did you ever think when you were overseas and you're in Germany, did you ever think like, I'm going to be a chiropractor one day, I'm going to own my own business? Did you ever, what were your thoughts, what were your future, what did it look
really
like then?
none. I was going to go to college when I got home. I made my mind up to that.
Right.
And I picked the Missouri State Teachers College as my course. So I took a prerequisite to a medical school, really. I mean,
Right.
it's the same as a medical school. And at that time, I was on my way to becoming an osteopath.
Right.
And I went, because the Kirksville State Osteopathic College is in Kirksville, Missouri. And I went to apply, and there was only 100 entrants taken, and you had to have the best grades.
Right.
And I didn't have the best grades. I was doing a B, but I wasn't good enough.
Oh.
And, so I made up my mind right then I was going to go to college and be something with my hands,
Right.
professionally. So I became a chiropractor. I went to Davenport, Iowa, and took my education there for 4 years.
Good for you. Good for you. So let me ask you, I want to reflect a little bit on wartime and what were your lessons? What did you learn from being in the military? What kind of things did it teach you? About yourself, about the world, about...
I grew up.
You grew up? Were you a wild child before you joined?
No, not really. I was a middle child, so I wasn't too
Yeah.
aggressive.
Yeah. Forced you to grow up fast, though, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you touched on this a little bit, but I want to ask again. Your feelings about war. Everything that's going on in our country right now. Iraq, Afghanistan, now Paris. What are your feelings? How do you view all that?
I don't particularly care for it. I mean, I don't understand war.
Mm-hmm.
We never really accomplished anything. 20 years later, we're back in another war. It seems like we just don't ever gain anything. We just... I don't understand why we have to have aggressors, I guess. I don't understand ISIS people. I don't even what the world what they even represent.
Right.
And these things just bother me.
Right.
But I just don't care for war at all.
And what are your feelings on our military men and women right now that are now?
God bless them.
Yeah.
I hope. And I have a friend of mine I eat lunch with here at the Heritage Woods. He said he was 4F. I said, thank God. You're lucky.
Yeah.
But he had a mechanics business, and he did real well with that. So.
Yeah. So what if are any of your grandchildren in the military? Do you have any?
No.
Okay.
My grandson is the oldest. He's 35.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a double master's degree, and he's a librarian at Ralston Marina down in St. Louis.
Oh, nice.
Supervisor.
Yeah. What would your thoughts be to them? Let's say you had a grandchild or a great-grandchild that came to you and said, Grandpa, I want to join the Army. What would you tell them?
Well, my son did that to me.
Okay.
After he was out of high school, he flew around with small jobs and this and that. And one day he came in and he said, Dad, I joined the service. I said, you what? I joined the service. He says, why? He says, because I want to go overseas. And I said, well, Bruce, more power to you if you want that.
Yeah.
But I just don't, that's fine. It just is not what I'd like to have you do. I want you to go to college.
Was that scary as a parent, knowing what he was
yes,
walking
it does.
into?
Yes,
Yeah.
it does. But he went through his service time, came home, went to college, and became a chiropractor.
Yeah.
So,
Was he? Did he do any wartime?
yeah, he was over in Germany.
Oh, he was.
Karlsruhe.
Oh, okay.
He was stationed in the military as a mechanic for a maintenance company.
Okay. All right. So you would be okay with if a grandchild or great-grandchild came to you? Would you just tell them? What would you say to them?
Keep your education. Go that way.
Go that way instead of military?
Yeah, go that way.
Yeah.
Because they all have good educations. They've all
Right.
got masters. Well, one hasn't got a master's yet,
Right.
but two haven't got masters yet.
Yeah.
I have one granddaughter that's teaching in Seoul, South Korea right now.
Oh, wow.
She teaches at a very affluent school over there,
Okay.
and she loves it.
Oh.
She's been there almost a year and a half, and when she finishes a year and a half, she's coming home.
Yeah. That's great.
But she says she enjoys South Korea.
Yeah.
Because you can't imagine how beautiful a country this is. And the funny thing I always get a kick out of, she says, I'm safer here in Seoul with 9 million people than it would be in Chicago with 3 million people.
Yeah.
She says, they don't have shootings.
Right.
They don't have anybody killing
That's the
anybody.
reality of our world these days. That
Yeah.
kind of sums it up right
Does it
there.
so?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think about it a lot.
Oh.
But I know other countries are the same way. She travels while she's over there, and she travels all she can.
Yeah.
And just recently she came back from being at the Great Wall. And that was a communist country, you know.
Right. Right.
And she said, you're very safe there. They don't do anything wrong because they're watched over,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not pushing communism, I hate it, but then it's just the fact that they know how to control their people.
Sure. Yeah.
And we
It's
don't.
a very different world over
Yes,
there.
yeah.
That is for sure. That is for sure.
These things I hear in Chicago about these people shooting everybody just at random or
I know.
little kids in the front porch and things like that. That's so stupid. Just
There's no need for it. That's
No.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's no need for it. No need for it.
I'll never understand.
So what message would you leave for future generations? Somebody watching this video, let's say it's your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchild, years, 50, 60 years. What's your message to them? What do you want to leave?
Be whatever you want to be, but be it the best you can. And do whatever you want. But
Yeah.
do it right.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want to be if you really want to be. You have to want to be it.
Mhm.
You have to want to do it. And I think that's the reason I was successful, because I wanted to be what I was.
Yeah. And you definitely were successful.
And I
That's
was
for sure.
successful. I was very fortunate.
Yeah.
And my wife worked for me as a bookkeeper. She helped keep me fortunate too.
Right. Oh, well, she was the lucky woman.
Well,
Yeah.
I always said she put me through my last 2 years of college, and I took care of her the rest of my life.
Oh, that's called payback.
We enjoyed that.
So, Bob, what else? Now, I've done the interview part and the questions. I want to know, what else do you want to share with me? What haven't we gone through? What haven't we talked about? Any stories? Now is your time.
Travel?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, we traveled an awful lot. We took 5 cruises. We traveled to England, Norway, Denmark, Panama Canal, in Alaska.
Yeah.
2 cruises in the Caribbean, east and west. And we traveled all over the United States.
Yeah.
We had a motorhome at one time, and we traveled all the way out through the west and all the way back down through Texas and state. 14 years we spent in Arizona every winter after I semi-retired.
Right.
And we enjoyed that an awful lot.
Yeah.
I played golf and my wife made quilts.
That's a good life, huh?
She made quilts for every one of her grandkids and all of her children.
Right.
And finally, the last year we went out, she said, "Well, I haven't got anybody to make a quilt for now." I said, "How about making one for us?"
Oh.
And so it's on my bed.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm going to peek at that before I leave.
It's a beautiful job.
That's wonderful.
That's what she did. But I don't know, we're so very in love, I think.
Yeah, I can tell.
It was amazing.
Do you have a lot of family that lives close around here?
Oh, yes, my son lives here in Yorkville.
Right.
The north part of town. And, I know something you want to know. I became mayor of Yorkville at one time.
You did?
After the city joined in 1957, the 2 cities, Bristol and Yorkville, were 2 cities.
Okay.
And they joined in combined forces and made 1,000 people rather than 500 apiece.
Right.
Each side of the river joined together and made one United City of Yorkville. And the first mayor was a friend of mine, the second mayor was a friend of mine, and I was the 3rd mayor of Yorkville.
Oh.
After they joined in 1957.
I was just going to ask you what year that was.
That'd be 1960. See, I was alderman for 8 years.
You were an alderman as well.
Yeah.
Wow. You've done everything.
Well, not
So how long were you mayor?
8 years.
8
two
years.
terms.
2 terms.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I did. It isn't as difficult as it is nowadays. I wouldn't want to be the mayor here now.
Right. Sure.
I don't think I could handle it.
Right.
But back then it was fun.
Yeah, that's neat.
It was in 1957 when I got out of my mayorship.
Yeah. That's neat.
But I enjoyed that.
What else did you do? I'm sure you've done other stuff.
Oh,
I know some stuff you're not going to tell me on the camera.
I became a Mason.
Oh.
I'm a 50-year Mason.
Nice.
I'm a 60-year Legion and 60-year VFW. And I was president of my state association, I told you that.
Right. So you are the VFW here in Yorkville?
Yes.
And the American Legion in Yorkville?
I am, yes.
Okay. Okay. That's neat. Are any of your other friends that live in here members as well? Like, do you guys...
Only one I know, and we just talk a little bit, that's
Yeah.
all.
Okay.
But he wasn't a member of my lodge.
Oh, okay.
My lodge is the Yorkville Lodge here.
Yeah.
He was out of Naperville, I think. I'm not sure.
So, would you do it over again if you had to?
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
That's good. That's good.
My wife and I talked many times about how great our life has been
Yeah.
and how much we enjoyed it.
I believe it. I can tell just from listening to you for this time that
We
you...
enjoy each other. So
Yeah. That's so good.
That's her picture up there.
Oh, I can't move the camera.
Well, that's all right.
I was going to show her picture.
There's one here.
You want to hand me that one behind you? I can show that. Oh, she's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All right, Bob. Is there anything else?
Not that I can tell you, and I probably
Okay.
can, but I can't think of anything now.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, on behalf of myself and Unity Hospice, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for serving in the war, for answering the call to duty, and thank you for doing this interview with me. I really enjoyed talking to you.
I enjoyed it too.
Thank you. My name is Jenny Harden, and we are still here with Robert Coleman. Some things came up after we finished our previous interview, so I wanted to go ahead and get this on tape as well for him. So, Bob, tell me about your honor flight that you got to go on.
4 years ago, I was honored with a flight to Washington, D.C. to go to the honor flight to see our World War II memorial. And it was the most awesome thing I ever did. We saw many things. We saw the Arlington. We went through the World War II Museum, an aeronautical museum out by the airfield. And it was just the awesomest thing I ever had.
Where did you fly out of?
Of O'Hare.
O'Hare, okay. And who went with you? Because I know you get to bring a family member, correct?
No, I didn't bring a family member. I took a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
He was also a World War II a Navy veteran.
Oh, okay.
And he and I have been buddies for a long, long time. So he went with me.
What is his name?
John Snyder.
Okay.
Real great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun together. When you received there, you received in a wheelchair. You never walk on your feet. They push you everywhere you go.
Right.
And they just took us all around and all the memorials.
And what year was this?
That was 4 years ago, so it'd be
Okay. 2011?
2011.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right.
So tell me about when you landed.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
We were received by Navy bands, over 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And you went down a corridor and everybody shaking your hand.
Oh.
And it's just something you couldn't believe.
Right.
And when you got down the end of it, here's your family.
Oh.
And they all knew you were going to go. And it was more than my family, just friends, lots of friends.
Yeah.
And it was just really awesome.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that so much that they honored us like they did.
Right.
We had things on the airplane like letters from our friends at home. They'll make tears come to your eyes.
Oh.
It was just so fun.
Yeah.
So happy about that trip.
So that trip, is it a day trip?
Yes, you go.
So you fly out in the morning?
4 o'clock in the morning. You got to be there. You fly at 6. We never got home till midnight.
Oh, that's
We
a
were
long
all
day.
Just walking around, or not walking, being pushed around.
Right.
Around the memorials.
So
And we saw Vietnam Memorial, and we saw the Korean Memorial. They're awesome too.
yeah.
But the biggest one and the best one was the World War II Memorial.
Of course.
Because
Yeah.
I was in it. And the strange thing about it, the young man that was pushing me was an Army person, and he worked on P-51s as a technical sergeant. And he said, "You want to see something different?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "We don't show this to everybody." And I don't know if you remember, but remember Kilroy?
Yeah.
Kilroy was here. He took me around the back of the entrance, and here's the picture. Kilroy was here.
Oh.
I got the biggest buzz out of that, because we saw that so much when we were in Europe.
Right. Oh.
It
And tell me about the kiosk.
The kiosk was in the entryway. We went in and we walked into my daughter had made arrangements to have my name put up in the archives.
Right.
And when I got there, all I had to do was push a couple of buttons and push my name in, and up came my name, my Army experiences,
Right.
and that was just,
And you're there forever.
yeah.
You're there forever.
Yeah.
Just like this, you'll be there forever.
Okay.
So what else about that flight or that trip? What other kind of things did you?
Well, I was impressed with the museum out in the airfield where they had all kinds. They had the one that bombed Japan. The only gay, what's her name? The airship that not Doolittle, that they flew. Anyway, the one that bombed Japan.
Okay.
It was our expedition out there,
Oh,
and we
neat.
saw one of the first moonshots.
Yeah.
They had the capsule,
Right. That's pretty neat. Not a lot of people see that.
and then they had World War II planes of all kinds,
Right.
and World War I planes, and many planes that were just.
Right. What was it like being in the midst of all those veterans, of all the different?
It's unbelievable.
Amazing. Yeah.
All great guys.
And so was the day spent kind of sharing stories and making new new friends? Or was it quiet? Kind of, what was the atmosphere like?
I would say it was quiet. I mean, I think
Yeah.
we were all just overwhelmed
Yeah,
with the experiences that we had and
right.
the letters we got from home and things like that.
Yeah.
And people sent us.
So they gave those to you on the airplane?
They did.
Yeah, on the way there or on the way home?
On the way home.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, it made tears come to my eyes.
Yeah.
My grandson did that to me.
I was going to ask you who wrote you letters.
My grandson.
Yeah. Oh,
He was proud of his grandpa.
yeah. I can see why. I'm sure all of your family is very proud.
Well, I hope.
So, the honor flight, that's pretty cool.
It was
Not
cool.
everybody gets to do that, so that's
It was
definitely...
cool. I've tried to get every veteran I can think of to take that flight because I knew
Right.
they'd enjoy it.
Right, yeah.
Some didn't. And we actually were, about the third year, the flights were going on.
Oh, okay.
So about the third year before I got to go,
Yeah.
because we had to get in line, you know. And, but John and I signed up together at a picnic one day, and we said, the guy that was in charge of the Yorkville area came up to us and said, I'll let you guys. And I said, well, John, I'll go if you go. So we
Right.
we
Do you still talk to John?
oh yeah, John,
Yeah?
John's a good buddy of mine.
Oh, good.
He's,
Good. And that's good because that's an experience you guys share together.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's something that you'll always have.
Yeah.
So, that's amazing.
John and I see each other at church almost
Oh, okay.
all the time.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
Okay. What else about the honor flight?
Just awesome.
Just awesome.
Just plain awesome.
That's
I
good.
can't encourage any vet that can get a chance to go.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much longer they're going to have them though. Because all World War II veterans are passing away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
There's not as many going as there was.
Right.
I guess they're taking Vietnam vets too now though. So the Vietnam memorials
Right.
and
Because right now it's just for World War II?
it was.
Okay.
I think it's changed now.
Okay.
I think they're accepting the
Yeah.
Vietnam and the
Yeah.
Korean vets.
That's amazing. You got to experience that.
I did.
That's
I think
absolutely amazing.
That was the biggest experience I think I had.
So anybody that goes there in the future can look up your name and see
Yeah.
you on that kiosk.
It was, like I said, just plain awesome. I can't say
Awesome.
anything better about than that.
Well, you're awesome, Bob.
Thank you, dear.